Another news, Russian President Vladimir Putin slammed the United States for pressuring India and China to reduce energy trade with Moscow, while warning that these efforts could have economic repercussions for Washington. Now, Putin warned that imposing higher tariffs on Russia's trade partners would raise global energy prices and pressure the U.S. Federal Reserve to maintain high interest rates, a move he said could slow the U.S. economy. The Russian president was speaking at the World Discussion Forum in Sochi. The forum brought together security and geopolitical experts from 140 countries, including India. But in response to the U.S. pressure on India to cut energy ties with Russia, Putin said that New Delhi has no reason to yield to external pressure. He added that India will never allow itself to be humiliated, saying he knows Prime Minister Narendra Modi and that he would never make such a move.
Indian people will look at what decisions are made by the political leadership and never accept any humiliation before anyone. And also I know Prime Minister Modi, he will never take any steps of the kind.
He said that if India stopped purchasing Russian energy, it could face losses estimated between $9 to $10 billion. He added that the people of a country like India will closely watch the decisions made by their political leadership and will never tolerate humiliation from anyone. Putin also pointed to Washington's own uranium trade with Russia, noting that while Washington continues to buy enriched uranium from Moscow, it urges other countries to halt purchases of Russian energy. The Russian president also shared his anticipation for an upcoming visit to India in early December. He directed his government to develop measures to address the trade imbalance caused by New Delhi's significant imports of Russian crude oil. Putin suggested that Russia could increase the imports of agricultural goods and medicines from India. Now, just last month, the Russian president warned that the United States against using tariffs to pressure India and China, saying you cannot talk to India or China in that way. His remarks come amid a flurry of attacks on India and the U.S. over its purchase of Russian oil. U.S. President Donald Trump and top officials, including the Commerce Secretary and White House Trade Advisor, have repeatedly criticized New Delhi in recent months over its continued purchase of Russian oil. And for more on this, we were earlier joined by Stephen Golub. He's a political analyst and lawyer, and here's what he had to say. Listen in.
Well, far be it from me to support the statement of a dictatorial human rights abuser and blatant aggressor like Vladimir Putin. But in this case, well, welcome to the world of Donald Trump, where he makes foreign policy decisions, in this case affecting India, but also affecting many other allies across the globe. He makes such decisions based on personal feelings, on narcissism, on flimsy excuses for what's really going on, which in this case, it's very possible that he's taking out on India resentment for the fact that India didn't credit him for supposedly ending the fighting between your country and Pakistan months ago, when in fact, as you know, the reality is that he had very little, if anything, to do with that. So this is how Donald Trump rolls. He insults allies. In this case, he's slapping tariffs on India that he hasn't on other countries, treating India worse than other countries, including in some respects China. But it's nothing new with him. He's threatened Canada with becoming the 51st state. He feels it should become the 51st state. He's told Denmark that the U.S. should take over the Danish territory of Greenland. So very sadly and very typically, this is a reflection of Donald Trump's unnecessary, egregious conduct towards many countries across the world, in this case, your own.